Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. Thank you so much for tuning in today. First up, I am chatting with Chef Kelsey Murphy with Safe Catch, which is a premium, sustainable canned fish solution, and we are going to whip up a holiday treat. Then Riley Children's Health is here to share about how their pediatric services is revolutionizing outpatient care in Fort Wayne. Then it's Money Monday with Foster Financial as we discuss how to wrap up our finances for the end of the year. That and more happening now.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
If you're looking for a better option for canned fish, well, Safe Catch has you covered. Their mission is to provide consumers with pure and delicious seafood while also protecting purity in our oceans, lakes, and rivers. And joining me today to teach us a recipe for the holiday season is Chef Kelsey Murphy. Hello, Chef.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes, happy to have you here and really to learn about this whole sustainability within Safe Catch. So can you share why the purity factor is just so important when people are eating canned fish?
Absolutely. So we are 100% wild for our tuna, salmon, sardines, and mackerel. We're also 100% sustainably sourced and traceable from catch out in the water back to our cans and our pouches here in the U.S. and worldwide. So when you're looking for sustainability, you want to look for what's called the MSC Bluefish Eco Label Seal of Certification. This means that all of our fisheries, and where the fish is captured is dolphin safe, turtle safe. It's not endangering additional wildlife. And it's also protecting our oceans to ensure our fish is reproducing in abundance for our future. So our salmon and our tuna that we have here today is all backed by the Marine Stewardship Council Seal of Certification.
And I'm curious about the nutritional side for the actual consumer. So how does this process help in the way that we digest it?
I love that. So no two fish out of the same school are going to be the same. Meaning their mercury levels, depending on their age, well, not dependent on their age, their weight, their size, etc., are going to be the same mercury levels. So that's where Safe Catch became an entity, became a company, became an individual that wanted to do better for the community, for our world. So we test every single tuna and every single salmon for mercury up to 25 times lower for our tuna and 50 times lower in our salmon. And we cook it one time. So talking about the nutritional value, other conventional canned seafood brands are cooking twice, sometimes more, adding in fillers and additives and seasonings. So if you look at our packaging, it's just skipjack tuna. It's just wild Pacific pink salmon and maybe a little bit of sea salt. We cook our hand-selected sashimi grade tuna and salmon steaks in our BPNI cans and our pouches. We seal it in here. We cook it one time. So all of the liquid that you hear or that you feel in our packaging is from the fish. We retain at least 90% more nutritional value from our fish based on our cooking than other brands.
Yeah, that's so fascinating because I was going to ask about that liquid because you typically see a variety, like either it's being soaked in water, it's in vegetable oil or sunflower oil. But what you're saying is it's in its natural juices and it's able just to keep it not being saturated in icky stuff.
Yes. So if you read our labels, like I said, it's just skipjack tuna. So it's just fish. So these are 1.5 servings. Our cans, you can eat the whole thing. And this one's going to be 40 grams of protein just in this can. So we tell you, don't drain the liquid out of the can like you would a different brand, but instead use a fork and incorporate it back in. It will not make it liquidy. It just reinfuses those natural oils, those natural flavors back into the fish. So you can get all of that natural goodness that the world intended.
Right. Okay, great. So I see you have a delicious spread in front of you. So what recipe will you be teaching us today?
We are making a super simple, almost pantry staple hot tuna dip for your next holiday party or your next gathering. This can be adjusted in flavor based on your acquired taste, but we'll run through the recipe and you can adjust with what you have at home.
Okay, how do we get started?
Awesome. So in my bowl, I already have 6 ounces of softened cream cheese. I'm going to add about 1/4 of a cup of just some shredded cheese that you have on hand here in the bowl. In my seasonings, I have a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, some crushed red pepper, and some chopped green onion. Again, you can adjust that based on your flavor profile. We're going to add about 1/3 of a cup of some mayonnaise here. And then we're going to add 1/4 of a cup of some Greek yogurt. So we're adding back in a little bit more protein. And then for the high protein value of our high protein tuna dip, we're going to add in at least 1 can of our elite tuna. This is a skipjack tuna. And again, we open the can. It's a pop top. You don't need any additional cutting utensils or, can openers. And then I want you to take a fork and I want you to reincorporate the tuna back into the can, back into that liquid that we talked about. And then you're going to pour it in your bowl, mix it together, put it in a air fryer safe or a toaster oven safe dish that you have. Top it with some breadcrumbs, top it maybe with a little additional cheese, and it goes in the air fryer until it's nice and warm and the cheese is bubbly, and there you go. I promise you it takes about 15 minutes to make, and then you have a high protein dip that kids love, that parents love, and that'll be a hit for the holidays.
Yes, and it looks so yummy. I wish I could just taste it through the screen. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kelsey, for sharing about this recipe. And I'm sure there are just so many ways that people can use this canned product to either just eat it by itself. I always love a little spread on some crackers and just also mixing it into fun dishes. So we appreciate that.
You're welcome. And if you want this recipe or more recipes, check us out at safecatch.com or find us on Instagram at safecatchfoods.
Perfect. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Yes. And if you would like more information about Safe Catch, we'll have their website listed below. And as she said, you can actually find all the yummy recipes. And I'll see you after the break.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
Enjoy fun in the sun on Living Local 15. Become a tourist in your own city. Visit your favorite spots and have some fun with me. From kayaking to rappelling off a building, I show you ways to have an adventure in Northeast Indiana every weekday morning at 9 on WANE 15. So join me, Jessica Williams, for Living Local 15.
Watch Living Local 15 with Jessica Williams weekdays at 9 on WANE 15 and catch past episodes on wayne.com.
Riley's Children's Health provides access to pediatric, primary, and specialty care across Indiana. And here to tell us all about their services and care they provide is Morgan Schmidt, the Director of Clinical Operations. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so let's start off by talking about your hospital and really your clinic and the way that you provide services to children all throughout Northeast Indiana.
Sure, absolutely. So Riley Children's Health has a long-standing commitment with the Fort Wayne area. We have been providing care here to children of Fort Wayne and the surrounding areas for the last 20 years. And then in 2018, we actually opened a dedicated pediatric specialty clinic here on Cook Road, and it's right at the corner of Cook and Coldwater. Okay. And at that location, we have about 13 different Riley specialty providers that come to that location to see our patients. And that includes services such as neurology, urology, pulmonology, diabetes care. So all of those things are included at our clinic location. And at our location, our staff lives here, they're local, so we have nurses, medical assistants, we have wraparound services such as social work, diabetic educators, I mean, I could keep going, ultrasound techs, all of those things. And so our physicians, though, they are the same Riley physicians that patients and families would see in Indianapolis, and they commute here to Fort Wayne to see patients, so it's easier for our patients and families.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let's talk about that. Of course, Indy's like an hour and a half away. That is a good commute to do, but I love that. So you make your primary facility available all throughout Indiana, so you're covering from top to bottom.
Yes.
Why did you all make that decision to have your physicians come here to see Fort Wayne patients?
Absolutely. So because there is such a need here in the Fort Wayne area, in 2023, we saw for Fort Wayne, or for Riley Specialty Care, we saw a little over 14,000 patients for Riley Specialty Clinics. And of those 14 patients, or 14,000, we were able to service 6,100 of those here in the Fort Wayne area at our Cook Road location.
Yes.
So it's important to us for access. It's important for us to make it easier for patients and families. We know it's a lot of stress to travel to Indianapolis. So that was our goal. We want to bring the care here to the patients that are here in the Fort Wayne area.
Right. And you mentioned some of the specialties, but really you offer about how many different areas of expertise here?
Here, so 13 different specialties. It includes 45 different providers. So we have 45 different Riley providers that come and serve our Fort Wayne clinic.
Yeah. And so how does it work exactly with your location? Is this where people can do walk-ins, appointment only? I mean, what made you all make it so accessible throughout the day?
Yeah, absolutely. So our clinic is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. And if you want your child to be seen there, you just talk to your primary care provider and get a referral to a Riley specialist.
Okay. Yeah. And so in that part, so people may be wondering like what really differentiates you all from other hospitals or children care facilities, but it is that specialty, right? It's taking it to the next level of care, getting that referral and having experts really come in and focus on the child.
Absolutely. And it's the exact same physicians that you would see in Indianapolis. We're ranked in U.S. News and World Report. So we provide very high level skilled care at our pediatric specialty clinic here in Fort Wayne.
That is awesome. And so as you all are rolling, you say you've been around since 2018. And so what is just the main thing you want for people to walk away with knowing about Riley Children's Health?
Absolutely. I think the main thing is that we are here in Fort Wayne. We are accessible. We want to make it easy for families, and that families don't have to take the burden to have their child seen by one of our highly skilled professionals. They do not have to travel to Indianapolis. We are here in the Fort Wayne area, and we're continuing to grow. We want to keep adding access. We want to keep adding providers, but we are here, and that we want everybody to know that, and please come and see us because we want to make it easy for you.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Morgan.
Thank you.
Pleasure to see you. And if you'd like more information about Riley Children's Health, we'll have their website and phone number listed below, and I'll see you after the break.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. Welcome to Money Monday with Foster Financial, where we provide you with holistic financial advice with Caleb Doan, their vice president. Hello.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so the end of the year is here.
Yeah.
And I know that there's an opportunity for people to really get their finances in order by doing end of year planning. So what type of financial planning is important during this time?
Yeah. So I mean, there's some strategies that need to be done by tax time next year. You know, before you file your taxes, there's other things that have to be done by the end of the calendar year. And of course, we're getting close to the end of the calendar year here. So Roth conversions are one of the things that need to be done by the end of the calendar year. If you want to do a 2024 Roth conversion, has to be in by December 31st.
Okay, so really soon. Okay, so what exactly is a Roth conversion?
Yeah, this is basically where you take money from a traditional IRA or traditional 401k and you move it into a Roth account. And when you do that, the amount that's taken out of the traditional IRA is taxed in the year that you do this. So you're going to pay taxes on that money. You can either have it withheld during the conversion or you can pay it at tax time. But the reason somebody would do this is basically to manage their taxes. Maybe they're in a really attractive tax bracket right now. Maybe they're in the 12% tax bracket and they have $40,000 of room until they hit the 22% tax bracket. And so we could say, hey, we're going to leave a $5,000 cushion in there and we'll do a $35,000 Roth conversion this year.
Okay, and so typically the traditional can be changed into a Roth, but a Roth cannot be changed into a traditional because you've already paid the taxes, so why go backwards?
Exactly, yeah. You would, if you have the Roth money, you love keeping the Roth money because it's growing completely tax-free from then on. There's no required minimum distributions once the money is in the Roth account. And so we love the Roth money. And so there's a lot of reasons somebody would do this. One of them could be if you plan to have a really big expense in the future. Maybe you're planning on taking a big withdrawal from your investment accounts to, build a vacation home or a lake cottage or something like that. Well, if you pull, $200,000 out of a traditional IRA in 1 year, that could very easily kick you up into a higher tax bracket. And if we convert a little bit every single year for the next 5 years and then just pull it out of the Roth account, you won't owe a dime in taxes when you pull it out of the Roth account. So, there's a lot of rationale behind that. Sometimes when people hit RMD age, when they hit 73, RMDs are only on the traditional accounts. And again, if you have a big account, your RMD is really high, that can also kick you into a higher tax bracket.
Okay, because yes, my next question was going to be surrounding that good old age that we love, that's so weird and specific, but is there a certain age requirement to have a Roth?
No.
Okay.
So we can do a Roth conversion whether you're working, whether you're retired.
Okay.
There's kind of no conditions for that. We just have to know when we do that conversion, you're going to have to pay taxes on it. And so we're fine with that because we're managing what tax bracket you're in.
Right.
If I see that somebody is in the 12% tax bracket and they have, $40,000 of room until they hit the next tax bracket, if you aren't doing Roth conversions, to me it feels like, hey, that's some maybe misused or kind of wasted room that we have in that tax bracket. Because most of the time, if you're in the 12%, you're never going to be in a lower tax bracket for most people. If anything, the government always talks about raising taxes. People are always worried about them raising taxes. And so, hey, if we can pay taxes in that 12%, we're happy, goes into that tax-free bucket in the Roth account, and we can withdraw it tax-free later on.
Okay. And then just in reference to who can qualify, or rather what type of account can qualify. So if someone's listening and they're like, okay, I have a savings account, a money market, a traditional, a pension, a 401k, can all of those roll into this Roth conversion?
It would be a traditional IRA or a traditional 401k. Those would be the main pieces that we would roll. There's also some kind of less common accounts. There's SEP IRAs, simple IRAs. But what most people have is a traditional IRA and a traditional 401k, and that's where most of their wealth is typically located. And that can be a risk because that's all pre-tax money. It's never been taxed before. And so if that's your main source of wealth, if you ever need to take a big withdrawal, you could get hit with taxes.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you would like more information about Foster Financial, they offer complimentary consultations. We'll have their phone number listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Hi, I'm Karen Fursell. This is Jacob Palmer, and we're back from bestreviews.com. Be sure to take out your phone, scan that QR code, and get ready to scan, shop, and save. Today we're talking home for the holidays, some really great gifts and some incredible pricing. You're definitely going to want to put these in your cart. We're going to start with Lennox. This is their 65-piece flatware set. Tell us about it.
So we love it for a few reasons. Number one, it covers all the bases, like you mentioned, 65 pieces. So you're going to be able to have everything people need to eat, but also everything you're going to need to be able to serve up the dish. So this is a product that you're going to love for years.
All right, next, let's get our house ready for the holidays. This is by Pure Steam. This is their steam mop, but it actually functions various different ways.
And I love that about it, because not only is it going to make sure that your floors are looking great, but it also works as a handheld steamer, so you can also make sure that your clothes are looking great, you're looking crisp for that big meeting. And in the Best Reviews testing lab, we found that it really does work on the floors, especially over the holidays when you want to look as good as you can.
Yeah, and you want your house to look great. All right, next is Apple. These are their air tags. This is something that is all over our house. I tend to make my kids put them on anything and everything just because they tend to lose everything.
But it's also so functional for a bunch of different people. You can also put it on a keychain and make sure that you always know where your keys are for those of us that are always losing it in the couch somehow.
Yes, absolutely. It's a great stocking stuffer. And then finally, we have the Roku stick.
You talk about great stocking stuffers. The Roku stick absolutely fits the bill there, but it also is so powerful in terms of what it can unlock by plugging into any smart TV. And then right now, it is so marked down that you might as well just grab one, because you can make sure that you're saving money and also staying entertained no matter where you are.
Yeah, the prices are amazing. Well, let's take a look at all 4 products on the table. We have some great brands. Be sure to take out your phone, scan that QR code, and get ready to scan, shop, and save.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com.
Go to the Living Local 15 page on WANE.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15. Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.